Welcome to the Menowave Lounge, where the journey through menopause becomes an exhilarating ride. We are your hosts, Marti Daly and Robin Duke. As Menowave care providers, we're here to create a warm and welcoming space where we can talk openly about the ups, downs, and everything in between when it comes to navigating the Menowave of menopause. In the Menowave Lounge, we'll dive deep into all things menopause, offering valuable insights and shedding light on those topics that are often mysterious and confusing. Whether you're in the midst of those sizzling hot flashes or just looking for some cool conversations and expert advice, this is the show for you. Join us in our team of expert care providers, from health professionals to holistic practitioners to coaches, as we explore the transformative journey of menopause together. We know that during this stage of life, there are plenty of questions, concerns, and experiences that can feel very overwhelming. And the lack of women who actually want to talk about it can feel very lonely. But fear not. We're here to provide the support you need as we all ride the Menowave together. Each episode will be joined by a variety of inspiring Menowave care providers who have walked this path as well, sharing their voices and offering valuable advice. So don't miss out on the laughter, the tears, and the camaraderie. Tune in now and let's ride this wave together. Welcome to the Menowave Lounge, hot flashes and cool conversations. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hot Flashes and Cool Conversations. I'm Robin Duke, and this is Marty, and we have a guest today, Bonnie Rose. Hi, Bonnie. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much.
Hey, Bonnie. We're so happy to have you on today. We are going to learn so much because Bonnie is a retired nurse and a toxin-free expert. And we are going to be talking some big words, some major toxins that are in our products every day. And we're going to find out how they're affecting us and what we can do about it. And you will be surprised. We've got some really, really great things to talk about today. So, but Marty, I think we have an icebreaker. I love this. Yes, because we all have them. I've seen this. I like to call them our menopause moments. I want to share that the silliest thing happened to me, and I'm just like, oh, there's my menopause moment. Is the other day I was cooking dinner for the family, and I was heating something up in the microwave, and it needed 1:30. And I'm standing there, I'm 1:30. I'm waiting, and it's taking a long time. I'm starting to smell. Oh, I'd put it in for 10 minutes and 30 seconds. And I'm just like, how does that happen? Thankfully, I caught it before things, it was ruined. But I was like, wow, I'm not a novice with the microwave. But that was mine. How about you, Bonnie? Do you have any?
I do. Last week I went out because I go out in the morning and take care of my horses. So I went out, in that dirty barn, got them fed and everything, came back in, and as soon as I come back in, I always take my shoes off because, my barn boots are just gross. So I only had one on, and I still had one of my slippers on the other foot. How did I not notice that? They're different when I'm walking,
Exactly. Yeah, that's a classic example of brain fog. I think for me, it's this week I was driving to a destination, and I'm just like doodle along, listening to the radio. Next thing you know, I realize I'm going to the wrong person's house, and so and I'm halfway there, so I have to make 3 lefts in order to make the right in order to get back. And I swear to God, I almost passed her house again, And I thought, okay, I got to get this under control, So brain fog happens to all of us, and it happens at the most funniest, randomest times, like you walk into a room and it's like your glasses are on top of your head, or just different things like that. So if you see us making some brain fog moves, just laugh along with us, because we laugh at ourselves too. And I love that we can laugh at ourselves, because I know sometimes we're so used to being a certain way and feeling confident and feeling like we're on the ball. And then something like this happens and you burn your dinner, or you wear the wrong shoes, or you completely drive to the wrong place. I love to laugh. Laughter, I feel, is the best medicine. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to jump right in. And Bonnie, you are such an interesting person. We've gotten to know you a little bit. And So for our listeners, I would just love for you just to share how, number one, you came to be a toxin-free expert and you're a retired nurse, how interesting, and share a little bit of your story with us.
Okay. So most of my career, I was an ER nurse. And then there was a period of time I decided I wanted to travel and be a travel ER nurse. So I went to Alaska, an island in the Caribbean. I just went everywhere. So I started to notice some places there were clusters of illnesses, like San Antonio, there was an ALS cluster, and they were people that worked as civilians in the same building at Kelly Air Force Base. That was just like, wow, what's going on. There was found to be contaminated groundwater under that building. A lot of babies born in Brownsville, Texas, which is a border town, that were anencephalic, which is born without a brain. The island I was on in the Caribbean, there was huge population. It's like everybody had asthma. It was just nonstop all night long, coming in the ER, people wheezing, babies, babies to the elderly. Everybody on the island was always wheezing. So that got me thinking, there have to be toxic chemicals everywhere that are causing people to be ill. Then I went to a city in Arizona and everything was clean. The streets were clean. The restaurants had a lot of restaurants that served organic foods. And the population was overall healthy. There weren't all these people with these chronic illnesses. There were some, but not a big cluster like I had seen. So that was around 2002. That's when I started on my clean eating journey. Then around 2005, 2006, I just thought, so I started researching environmental toxins, but then I thought, I wonder what's in the products I use every day. What's in my skincare, my shampoo, my makeup, my body lotion? What am I putting on my skin? Because our skin is porous, so a lot of what we put on it gets absorbed. So that just sent me down, the rabbit hole, and I've been researching toxic chemicals and personal care products ever since. And I do research every single day. I was telling somebody earlier, I said, if I spend as much time cleaning as I did reading labels and studying ingredients, my house would be spotless.
Wow, that is
how
really
I got here.
Interesting. So, Bonnie, what kind of ingredients are in our skincare products and the household products we use every day?
There are endocrine disruptors, neurotoxins, and carcinogens, and a lot of allergens. People have allergens there's allergens to our skin, our eyes, and our lungs. The main ones I wanted to address today are called EDCs, or endocrine disrupting chemicals. Just so important for everybody, but most definitely for those of us in perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, because the EDCs interfere with the normal function of our body's endocrine system. And, the endocrine system, I'm not going to, get all nursey on you with that, but it consists of glands. The glands produce hormones, and they regulate a variety of our bodily functions, like our metabolism. So we don't want them in products where they're being absorbed into our bloodstream, because they can mimic or partly mimic the hormones, some of the hormones. Like estrogens is a big one. A lot of them mimic estrogen, can mimic androgens, thyroid hormones. So they can do one of two things. they can cause overstimulation of the hormones, or they can block what our hormones are supposed to do. So either way, and if you think about it and you say you use like 5 products every single day, you know, whether it's deodorant, body wash, shampoo, skincare, makeup, 5 products, say those products contain 2 to 10 endocrine disruptors every single day, that's getting into your system.
Wow.
So that's
Wow. You had mentioned, so I mean, interrupt, you had mentioned, we were talking earlier about another of like obesogens. Want to share some more about that?
The Endocrine Society they have identified at least 1,000. They think there's more than 1,000 chemicals that are endocrine disruptors. There's over 85,000 chemicals that are currently man-made, used in products. So the obesogens specifically are linked to not just making people gain weight, but they interfere with how we eat, how we digest our food. And all of that, of course, affects metabolism. And a lot of the EDCs have been proven to cause obesity and type 2 diabetes. So insulin is a hormone, so it's interfering with our insulin.
Wow, that is really amazing. I was not aware that these EDCs could have that kind of impact on us and our hormones. So what might be some of the symptoms that we might see? I mean, you said weight gain, but are there other things that it could be affecting?
Weight gain, you know, if you get diabetes, especially if there's no family history, cardiovascular disease, if there's no family history, your metabolism, like, you know, so you're exercising, you're eating right, but you can't lose weight. So you need to take a look at the products you're using, the ingredients in the products you're using. There are also some endocrine disruptors have been linked to neurological effects, even in children, autism, ADHD, linked to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. Some are known carcinogens. The breast cancer prevention program has said that 90%, this is huge, 90% of breast cancer cases are not linked to genetics. And they have found parabens in breast cancer tumors.
Wow.
And so that's, you know, that's huge.
It is.
Wow.
And so how strict are, you know, our country, the USA, versus some of the other countries when it comes to, you know, these toxins being in our products?
Unfortunately, here in the US, there is very little regulation. The European Union, for instance, bans over 1,600 chemicals for use in personal care products. The United States has only banned 11.
Wow.
Which, you know, that's shocking. That is just shocking.
That is.
And Bonnie, you had shared this, you know, told us the other day, which I found very compelling, is that you've spent a lot of time calling these companies and asking them about their products that they're using. You'd share a little bit more about what that's been like for you and what response you get from them.
The response is just, you know, some of them just play dumb or give me ridiculous answers. Like a lot of the companies now have stopped using the parabens since people are becoming aware that they're dangerous. And there's a lot of different parabens. So in place of parabens, a lot of them are using phenoxyethanol because they think, oh, nobody's heard of that, so we can use that, and they're not going to question. consumers are not going to question our products. So I have called companies. One in particular I called. When I'm looking at product ingredients, I check their, like if they make skincare and makeup, I check their top 5 sellers. So this was a skincare and makeup company, one that claims to be clean beauty. Every single product had phenoxyethanol in it. And that, for instance, phenoxyethanol it's a huge allergen, skin allergen. And the American Society of Contact Dermatitis has listed it as a core allergen. So I asked, y'all are misrepresenting yourselves. You're saying that you're clean beauty. And they had a lot of other chemicals in there too, but I specifically asked about phenoxyethanol because they were advertising that they don't use parabens. I said, I realize a lot of companies have replaced parabens with phenoxyethanol as a preservative, but it's unsafe. And the answer she gave me was, well, it's not enough in a product to harm you. I said, okay, think about this. Like for me, I use all the skincare and all the makeup from one company. So this person's using your face wash, your toner, moisturizer, maybe eye cream, maybe a serum, and your foundation and your eyeshadow and your lipstick, your eyeliner, your mascara, your blush, powder. That's 12 products. Every single one of those products have phenoxyethanol in it. So adding all those up, that's way more than will do damage.
Especially since we're putting it all over.
Yeah.
Like the skin is the largest organ. And
Yeah.
you mentioned the scalp is particularly absorbent of these chemicals, and it's just layer upon layer upon layer. That's
And it was
outrageous.
just silence, like,
Oh,
hello, you know. And there was another one I called because they have this big thing about sustainability and we're trying to protect, the environment. And I called them. I'm like, okay, you want consumers to believe you're trying to protect the environment, yet your primary packaging is all plastic. So plastic is not good for the environment. And plastic itself has, like, one is bisphenol A, which is an endocrine disruptor. And if that container gets, maybe people, although they shouldn't store it in the sunlight, maybe they do, or it's in their bathroom, which gets hot when they're in the shower, or plastic and, like food containers that get heated up, then that BPA can leach into the products. But the fact that you're using primary plastic packaging, there's nothing sustainable about your company or trying to help the environment. And that response was, well, if you look on our website, we have a statement that we're going to try to do better by next year.
of course.
I'm like, well, then you shouldn't be saying you're a sustainable brand.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
It's
advertising in the way that they, present themselves.
Yes. Because, they know so many people care about the environment now. So, it's like, oh, we're just going to lie. I don't think they're not aware. Anybody that knows anything about the environment knows that plastic, a lot of it ends up in the ocean.
Yes, and that affects our sea life and
yes,
the balance in our oceans and with our sea animals. So, last quick question: you had mentioned that there are new laws that are trying to be introduced in legislation. How are those going, and what are those laws?
It is called the Safer Beauty Bill package. It's 4 different bills. It was brought or tried to get brought before Congress a few years back. It was completely ignored. It's been brought before Congress again. So one of the bills is that every company would have to be transparent about what they're putting in the products to make a scent, a fragrance. Because right now, when you just see fragrance or perfume on anything, whether it's makeup, laundry detergent, perfume, anything that has the word fragrance in it, if it's not identified, there are over 4,000 chemicals that can hide under fragrance or perfume. Some just say aroma. And legally, they do not have to disclose what they're using. So, maybe your laundry detergent that says fragrance, it may be a chemical cocktail of 50, it may be 100 different chemicals, and they do not have to say anything about what's in there.
Wow. Wow. That is just crazy.
Well, it's scary because there's all these ingredients that they do list that are toxic, that are bad for us. And then to think that there's all these others that are hidden that we don't even know about. It's like, what are they not sharing with us?
And I have called a company also about something that I smelled in the store. I can't even walk down the laundry aisle in the grocery store anymore. It's just like, oh, assault on my senses.
Mhm.
So there was something
so
particularly
true.
strong smelling, and I called. I'm like, can you tell me what is in the fragrance in this? Because it just like, woo, they're like, oh no, it's a proprietary blend. I'm like, okay, so it's full of toxic chemicals. That's what you're saying. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are a lot of buzzwords that we hear, but we aren't aware of what they really mean. And so, wow, thank you for bringing us this awareness that we can start, like, in our mind connecting fragrances may have toxins in them.
They
Just
do
because
have
they smell
toxins.
good doesn't mean that they are good for us.
Right. And what's in the fragrance can be allergens, the hormone disruptors, asthma triggers, neurotoxins, carcinogens. It could be 50 of those all in that little fragrance. That's one of the big things I like to tell women to look out for. Read the ingredients. If you see the word fragrance or perfume, don't buy it.
Right.
If it's safe, it will have an asterisk by fragrance and then an asterisk like certified organic lavender oil, something like that.
And that's okay. If it's got the asterisk and then it says it's
Yes.
certified organic lavender oil, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Neat. I want to start coming back around to, you mentioned earlier about the consumer is getting more savvy to some of this stuff, and that we're starting to look for words like paraben-free and sulfate-free. You shared with us the new word I hadn't heard before. Be able to share with the rest of us what that is.
Greenwashing.
Greenwashing.
And actually the term came about by an American environmentalist in the 1980s. So it's a deceptive marketing tactic. It was originally started as companies, the ones saying they're sustainable, their products are sustainable, they're trying to help the environment. And now it's gone further into companies trying to deceive us by making us think their products are safe and do not have toxic chemicals in them, when in fact they do.
Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. That kind of leads us into our next part. We're going to actually share some examples of products that we use every day, and we're going to break poor Marty's heart
Yes.
some of these products, because I know she uses them. We all do. And some of this may
Yeah.
spark, like aha moments for us.
Oh, I do want to say this because greenwashing just fires me up and makes me so angry. They do it just for money because they can spend a little bit of money and say paraben-free, or other words, dermatologist recommended. Like, how many times have you seen that? Sulfate-free, hypoallergenic, natural. So when you see any of those words on the front, flip that bottle over and read the back. That they don't want to spend the money to transform their standards to greener, safer methods. They'd rather just spend that little money putting whatever that is on the front of their product.
Well, I do notice that when something says organic, it's usually $2 higher, just because it has that word on it and it has the exact same ingredients as other things. So
yeah.
Wow. Well, let's get started breaking my heart. I went through my family's bathrooms and cupboards and grabbed a couple of products, or a few products actually, that I think a lot of our audience has at home. So let's start with, well, this one. And as we do this, are we okay to share the brand and talk about that?
Yes, these
Okay.
are public brands, and anybody and everybody can go anywhere and read the labels.
Perfect. Okay. So I've got my Love Beauty and Planet shampoo, and on this one says it's sulfate free, and it's vegan, 100% biodegradable, 93% naturally derived. So this is the one that I go to when I don't want to use the ones that I know have a lot of toxins in them. Am I making the right choice?
Unfortunately, Marty, you're not.
It smells so pretty.
But, I mean, I fell for that too.
Yeah.
I used that at one time, and then I realized, oh my gosh, that was before I knew about fragrance. So it does have fragrance in it.
Yeah.
So, there could be 75 toxins in there just making up the fragrance.
And that's so hard because, there's other things in here that look pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
That's so disappointing. Okay, so much for that one. Okay, so then my husband, this is his favorite shampoo it's a Costco Kirkland house brand, their moisture shampoo. It also says that it's free of sulfates, parabens, phosphates, and dyes, and 100% vegan.
Let me see. This one's a train wreck. So here's another way they actually think. Well, first of all, they think nobody's going to read these, but yep, there I am every day. So when you see something that says PEG, it will be PEG dash and then a number.
But PEG,
which is polyethylene glycol. It is an ethoxylated ingredient. It also has, all of these ingredients like glycereth -26, methylgluceth -20. Anything that has ETH, so that, it also has fragrance and phenoxyethanol.
I did see the phenoxyethanol, and I'd written that down and underlined it. I was like, dang it, that's where it is.
So all the ETH dash, there's another one, Parith dash, all of those that say ETH. ETH dash something.
Well, I'll be happy to tell him I don't like the smell of this so much.
Those are all ethoxylated ingredients, which ethoxylated ingredients are made, the process, it's a long process, but they combine ethylene oxide, which is a known human carcinogen, with 1,4-dioxane, which is a suspected human carcinogen. Wow. And unless they go through a long, expensive process, they have no way of knowing if those stay in the ingredient.
Wow.
It's always amazing to me that these companies that are making this, they know, they've done studies, they have scientists,
they know,
and they still continue to put these concoctions together,
Oh, Marty, that one also has quaternium and polyquaternium, and those are formaldehyde releasers.
Formaldehyde? Like,
yes,
what we preserve things with.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And we're putting that on our hair.
On our hair, which is very, very sensitive, their scalp. Wow. Robin, do you have any shampoo? My shower is toxic. How about yours?
Yes, I have some toxic things in there. I have this one. This looked really good. This was the herbal essence, and it has hemp and potential aloe in it. So what do you think about that? And this is frizzy control and anti-frizzy control, and it has botanicals in it. So this is more of that, green word washing. Mm-hmm.
Green washing. I know, it sounds so good, doesn't it?
It does. And it's got a pretty label on it and everything. And it's green. The bottle's green.
It even says, yeah, the real botanicals are from the Royal Botanic Gardens. How could that be bad? Yet it is. Yeah, it is. It's got, there's that fragrance again. And it has polyquaternium, the formaldehyde releaser, and it has terrasodium EDTA.
Ooh.
Anything that has EDTA, that is a penetration enhancer. EDTA alone is not toxic, but it's a penetration enhancer. So it helps all those other ingredients penetrate better.
Oh my goodness. So it's just opening up the
Yeah.
pores and pushing it in
Yeah.
there. Wow.
Here, take all these chemicals in that fragrance.
Yeah, that's crazy. And this is made in the USA with imported ingredients. So we don't know where those ingredients are coming from.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Wow. I think I'm going to X that out of my shower and get rid of that, because the more that I start becoming aware of what I'm putting on and in my body, the more I want to, be informed. I want to get more back to some of the natural products, and not only food, but in our shampoos and things like that. Wow, thank you for sharing that. What else do we got on the list? Oh,
You got your Head and Shoulders.
we've got Head and Shoulders. Yes.
Dandruff.
Yes.
The Head and Shoulders Bare, minimal ingredients.
Yes, and it says bare, big.
Yeah.
Minimal ingredient shampoo, right?
And again, it has fragrance. So minimal ingredients. Yeah. And it has the polyquaternium formaldehyde releaser.
Well, and it's interesting on this one because it does actually have the what's in the ingredient next to it. And they're trying to say some of this is all a formula stabilizer, or that is derived by plants, or what's a freshness projector?
Yeah, freshness protector. That is a preservative.
Mm-hmm. And and for fragrance, it has coconut water scent.
Coconut water scent. Yeah.
I have to laugh about that one. Coconut water scent. Wow, did you know that? That's interesting. Let's see, what else do I have on here? Oh, well, and I have another one. How about the Toms of Maine? That's touted as a natural product, unscented, deodorant, long lasting. It says it has no parfums or parabens or aluminum.
It's good that it doesn't have aluminum. However, the first ingredient is propylene glycol.
What is that again?
You know what propylene glycol is? Where you can find propylene glycol in
antifreeze.
Oh my God, antifreeze.
You're putting antifreeze under your arms.
Yeah.
That's terrible. And also it says here, do not use if you have a cut or open skin wound.
Yeah, because that propylene glycol will burn that right up.
Hmm.
I never knew propylene glycol was a good deodorant.
Yeah, I mean that's really interesting because they, they say made with natural derived products.
Yeah.
I just can't see these being natural products that you would find in nature.
Yeah.
Definitely enhanced. So, wow, it really makes you think twice about the products that you're buying, and what it's doing to you.
It really does.
So, Marty, I see you have something on the list here.
I have a few more things because, so these are like everyday things we can get at our drugstore, grocery store, go up to like more specialty products and some higher end, a little bit higher end. My husband is a real big fan of Kiehl's products. This body lotion, I don't speak French, but but it's really nice. It's natural. It doesn't look like it has any greenwashing so much on the label. How about this one?
The Kiehl's the body cream,
Yep.
all over body moisturizer.
Yeah.
It has propylene glycol.
Oh yeah.
PPG, also a ethoxylated ingredient.
I don't see fragrance. Am I missing it?
I don't see fragrance either.
Has that going for it, but it's got all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, what about, so there's this face cream, this water cream. It's also Kiehl's, and this is the one. When I looked for the ingredients, I couldn't really find it. There was like some little, like just a few ingredients on the label on the bottom. But what did you make of those?
There's that propylene glycol again.
Oh man.
And
Oh. Well, how about in my shower with my body wash, my Dove body wash? I know it's got fragrance in it because it smells really good, which is why I use it. But it's relaxing. I don't see any so much greenwashing on it.
it has fragrance and it has phenol. Oh, it's also got the dyes like red dye 33, blue
Oh,
dye. Yeah.
boo. So, well, and on that, and okay, so that's the shower. What about, and I know this is really important for a lot of us, we're wanting to protect our skin, avoid more, adding more sun damage. So I think a lot of us, I know that whenever I go out now, I slather myself in sunscreen, and this has been my go-to, this copper tone, for 30 odd years.
Oh yeah, it's household
Is
name.
this helping me or is this hurting me?
That is hurting you
Oh
because
man.
it has avobenzone, homosalate, octosylate, octocrylene. Those are all chemicals that are harmful to humans and to the coral reefs.
Now that I remember you saying that we were talking about that's, I was, you hear that the sunscreen is damaging the coral reef, and I didn't quite understand that,
like
but now
bleaching them out, they're turning white, and it's from these. Some places have banned these ingredients: Hawaii, Key West, Virgin Islands, Curacao.
These are all tourist destinations, and I imagine they really get.
They banned them, but they don't have any way to enforce it. Now, one of the countries I know are checking when people land. I don't remember which island this was. When they land at the airport, they're going through and they're checking to see what sunscreen they brought.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah. And if it's got any of those in it, they toss it.
I bet a lot of people don't really understand that, and they get, annoyed or mad because, they brought their sunscreen that they like, and it's just sunscreen. Everybody, it's good for you. You want us to burn.
The only safe sunscreen is if it's non-nano zinc oxide, so that's all you need is just the zinc oxide. That's it.
Well, the zinc oxide, yeah. I actually have bought some of that, and it does turn, because the zinc is white, And so
Yeah.
it has the, you get the white.
Well, zinc oxide, I didn't know what that was. And then, because, by the time I came along in the, growing up in the 70s and 80s and 90s, it was all, sunscreen. Zinc oxide is like old fashioned. It's like that old timey stuff.
Yeah.
But now, that sounds like they had it right.
Noxina.
Maybe there was something to that and we didn't
Yeah.
need that much development. So my
It
last
has
of the
to do as far as nano and non-nano has to do with the size of the particles. So you want non-nano.
Non-nano. So my last of the of the cosmetics and body products is my daughter's, and she struggles with cystic acne. She's a teenager, so she uses this Garnier cleansing water, and it's no oil, no alcohol, no fragrance.
Yeah, I don't see anything in there that is concerning.
Good. Well, that makes me happy, because even though I have to take a relook, my she's on the right path. Good for her with that.
Oh, good to know. And the thing about it is, I mean, we have just put a few examples, but there are some good companies and some good products out there, and we'll be talking about them in a moment. What about candles?
Candles.
Candles. Many of them are incredibly toxic. And usually if the candle wax has color to it, green, red, whatever, it's petroleum based, which petroleum is a carcinogen. You're letting petroleum go in your house and
Float around.
It's also combustible, adding some combustibles into your house.
But they smell so good.
And they make the house smell good.
It's that fragrance. And you want the wick to be 100% cotton. And there's some companies there's one called Sea Love that makes safe candles. I just ordered something from their new fall line today. And Pure Plant and a company called wildbeautifulfree.com. And the little wax melts, Poofy Organics make safe wax melts.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. And we'll have a list of safe companies, just some suggestions that if you are looking to make some changes, in your products, you don't have to do it all at once. You can one at a time. So as you run out of like shampoo or soap, maybe that might be a good time to start switching over to a more natural product. Same with your lotions and even your toothpaste. We didn't even touch on toothpaste, but toothpaste has a lot of toxins in it as well. But it's just these small changes that you can make every day that can really start making a big difference in not only your health, but even your weight gain, menopausal symptoms that we talked about earlier, and everything that you do helps in the bigger picture of your health.
Yeah, just imagine, because we refer to it as body burden, like the amount of toxins that are in your body at any given time. So, just think if you do 4 safe swaps a month, how much you're decreasing your body burden.
And I like what you're saying about the body burden, and like Robin, what you said about, it can be about looking at to replace when your existing product runs out, because I know that when I hear this, I'm looking at this pile of the stuff, my products, and it's overwhelming. And I'm like, I don't know where to begin. And there's a lot of money here, but I don't want to putting toxins in my body knowingly, if I know better. But I just know for me, and like for a lot of women, it can be very overwhelming to be like, well, great. I mean, nothing I have is safe. So I really like that point, and I'm glad that we talked about that, is we don't have to freak out. You don't have to throw everything in the trash today when my shampoo runs out. look for a cleaner brand. And I think that's very helpful for kind of taking back the overwhelm, because we're going through this time of our life and we're already overwhelmed and we're not feeling so good about ourselves sometimes and how we look and how we feel. And sometimes lighting our favorite candle and having our good smell body wash is kind of our self-care. And it's nice to know that there's other options out there, and it doesn't all have to like be taken away from us all at once.
Well,
But
yeah.
sooner rather than later.
And speaking of other options, Body, you have a company that you use called Crunchy. Can you tell us a little bit about them? Because the company itself sounds amazing, all the things that they're doing.
The company is amazing, and it's Crunchy with an I, CRUNCHI. It was started in 2016 by two women. One is a nurse practitioner, and she saw some similar things like I did. She was working in California on a children's cancer unit, and suddenly they started getting all these children with cancer in from Nevada, and then found out they were all from the same area.
Wow.
So that just really got her, or she did something about it. So her and her friend decided, I can't find any skincare that's doing much for my body. And she said, I do like my Estee Lauder foundation, but it has so many toxic chemicals in it. So she tried like me, I tried other products from about 2006 to 2021 when I found Crunchy. I went through thousands of dollars trying, every time something new came out. Try the skincare, try the makeup, try the skincare, try the makeup. Nothing worked. So they started making some products in the garage. They started out with 4 products, and it is a debt-free company. The breast cancer prevention partners asked Crunchy to partner with them because the products are safe, and education is like our thing at Crunchy. We just want you to know about the ingredients we want. We are the first cosmetics company that has partnered with 4Ocean. 4Ocean removes plastic from the beaches, from the oceans.
I like that.
And there's no plastic primary packaging. We actually, last month, some of us met in Florida, and 4Ocean came so we could be with them and do a beach cleanup.
Oh,
Nice.
I love that.
There is, I mean, I was just blown away. I had about a 1.5 year illness, and between that and menopause, my skin was just, I remember I walked in the bathroom one day and I thought, oh my gosh, looked like I've aged 20 years since I got sick. And I just couldn't find anything that made my skin look better until I tried Crunchy. And the makeup, I was trying all those products, and I worked night shift in the ER. After a few hours, people would be like, Bonnie, what happened to your makeup? I'm like, it won't stay on. Okay, I don't know. It's just, anyway. So the Crunchy makeup, I always like to tell this because I had gotten to where I didn't even wear makeup anymore, and I love makeup. I've always loved makeup. And if I did wear it, as soon as I got home, it was just like smothering my skin. I would wash it off. So I put the Crunchy makeup on. I went to the chiropractor. I ran errands. I came home. I rode both of my horses, and it was already May. I'm in Georgia. It was already hot. It's always humid here. And then I got on the tractor, did some bush hogging, and about 7:30 that night, I went to get in the shower. I forgot I had makeup on because it wasn't smothering me. And when I looked in the mirror, I was like, my makeup is still on. So It's honestly, it's the safest I've ever used, and it's the best I've ever used. And the company just aligns so much with my beliefs and my values, especially about education. As a nurse, education is huge for me.
Mm-hmm.
So Bonnie, if our listeners, anybody wants to learn more about Crunchy or find out about the foundation or the things that they like, should they reach out to you or just go to the website, which is the best way to learn more about what Crunchy has? And
they can reach out to me because I can do like a free skin assessment on
nice.
them and recommend. Some people like, oh, I just want to start with everything. Some people want a little simple, 3 to 4 step routine. So I can make recommendations. They can also go to crunchy.com/Bonnie Rose.
Okay.
And when you get on that page, you'll see explore. And if you hover over that, you'll see a section called banished ingredients. That will show, like, I always keep it. I actually have it on my phone to refer to when I'm out shopping, but these are all ingredients that should not be in products that you use. And there's a list of all those and what they are. So why you shouldn't be using them.
What a handy way. What a great idea to have that on your phone.
Yeah.
So just going down the line and pull that up. We'll make that, we'll have, I believe you've shared a copy with us, or you will, and are we gonna be able to put that up and show that to everyone? Yeah. So they can have it for themselves.
Those in the show notes, the different links and different, healthy products to buy, and Bonnie's information and how you can get an skin assessment from her. So, wow, Bonnie, I am just amazed by not only your story, but your lifestyle. I mean, here you are, you have 2 horses and you're still working on this amazing farm that you have, and every part of your life is just about being in health, and that's amazing. We just love hearing your story today and sharing such amazing information about all the different products and things in our products. What about you, Marty?
Oh, and I love the way you walk your talk. And I'm sitting there thinking, beautiful Bonnie out there with her, her, not even as her foundation, but, like Bonnie, like Robin said, riding your horses, doing the bush hogging, taking care of the farm. And then, but also as your heart and your dedication, my goodness, for so long, with actually not so many people go out and take the time to call up companies that are strong arming them and asking. And I know that you've called your congressional representatives, your Senate representatives. I know you've reached out to Congress, and you're going to be in front of Congress someday. And I hope you do. And we support you 100% because you're out there fighting the good fight and doing the research, your stuff. I know there's so many people out there that are like, well, buy my product. It's better than this product because of this, and this. And you're like, no, here's what to look for. Here's why this is toxic. Here's why this is good greenwashing we talk about. So thank you so much for the work that you do and for bringing this in front of us. And and we can, we're happy to have you, and you're a valuable resource to not only us, but all the women in the menopause group.
Yeah, we have to become informed consumers.
Definitely.
And I do want to say, if everyone could go to there's a website called saferbeauty.org. And on there, you can read about the Safer Beauty Bill package. And they actually have a link that you can click on and send a letter to your congressperson.
Nice.
I'll tell you what I shared with them earlier. I did that, and then a couple of weeks later, I got a long email from my congressperson talking about that she understood the concern about, health care, and we all need affordable health care, which had nothing to do with what I sent. So I called and the guy that answered, I told him that, and then I said, so I'm asking for her support for the Safer Beauty Bill package. And then he's like, wait, wasn't that in like 2019 or something? I'm like, yes, it was. And it didn't get any support. it's in front of Congress again. So I'm asking for her support. I said, this is important. People are getting sick. People are dying over chemicals that are put in products that we use. Oh, okay. You know,
I think if we come together in our collective voices, then we can make
yeah.
a difference. So definitely I'm going to go to saferbeauty.org and voice my vote for getting this bill through. So
Well,
wow.
especially so important for us, especially as we are aging and we want to age gracefully. We want to look younger. I think at this age, we're going out for even more for the beauty products and trying to find these things. And for us to fight back and say, hey, listen, we want to be healthy too. We want to help ourselves age in a healthy way.
So Bonnie, that is amazing. I think with all our voices together, you know, we can stand up and push this bill through and start creating safer products for us ladies and men and children and people in general. And safer cosmetics beauty.org.
Safecosmetics.org.
Safecosmetics.org. I'm going to get on there today and let them know how that I want this bill passed. So I appreciate you. Thank you for all you do, Bonnie.
You're welcome. Here's another fact, people, it's not going to affect us in menopause, but you know, if you have children, grandchildren, like 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, the infertility, because infertility is one of the things that these endocrine disruptors cause. The infertility rate for women who had been trying to get pregnant for a year was 5.8%. Now it affects 1 in 5 women. So that's 20%.
Wow. There's another good reason.
Absolutely a good reason.
Yeah.
Oh, such wonderful information. And yes, I too will go out to safecosmetics.org and fight as well. And, you know, as we're coming along, you know, as we're looking to into aging gracefully, you know, we're reaching into a time where we're looking for the more beauty products to help with our fine lines and our wrinkles and what's the moisturizer to use, what's the foundation to use. I see that all the time. And so I think with our voices to go out and say, hey, listen, we demand safer products, because we're already dealing with tons of not only what's going on internally with our own hormones and our own health issues, but how we're feeling about ourselves and how we're feeling about our appearance. And like I said, we're going into the whole aging gracefully, which is how I would like to end this session, is just take a moment and really feel into what aging gracefully means to us and how we're living it. So for me, aging gracefully, what I'm wanting to take to heart, and this is a lesson that I have to learn every single day, and I've been on this journey for many, many years of just learning to love myself as I am, showing up as I am. Let's embrace one another instead of looking at these beautiful pictures of women who are choosing to age gracefully in the way that speaks to them and not tear one another down and not worry about what other people think. I think one of the beautiful things about going into this menopause stage is we get to care less about what other people think of us. But my point here is embrace aging as in a way that resonates with who we are, and stop listening to the outside world telling us how we should be, how we should look, how a woman of 50 should look. I mean, I was thinking today on my walk, we don't criticize a 10-year-old girl because she doesn't look the same way she did when she was 5. We shouldn't criticize a 30-year-old woman because she doesn't look the same way she did when she was half her age at 15. Why in the world are we so down on ourselves and we buy into that at 50, we don't look like we did when we were 25? But I fall into it too. I'd say, you know, a lot of the time I'm getting better. I see myself in the mirror and I'm like, not bad, or, oh, you look pretty good. And then I will admit there are days I look at myself and I'm going, oh, kind of looking like a potato today. I wish I get myself out of. But what a exercise, something that I learned a long time ago that helps me, is in the morning when I'm brushing my teeth, or at night when when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I just take a moment and I look at myself in the eyes and I imagine that I'm looking at me through the eyes of someone who loves me very, very much, who is not me, whether it be a parent of mine or my husband or a friend. And I take a moment and I pretend that I'm them, and I tell that beautiful woman looking back in the mirror at me, you know, all the things that they love about me. And when I say them out loud, then it's a way for me to hear it again. And you get into the habit of doing that more and more, and it becomes easier. So that's what aging graceful is to me. How about you, Bonnie?
So for me, aging gracefully just embodies kindness and love. May we show that to all the ladies in this group and everywhere that you meet people, everyone you come in contact with. We're all going through something, and you never know when just one kind word that you say to somebody will be what they need to keep going. And I truly hope all of you find whatever it is that just lights a fire in your soul. I believe we all have something that does that. Sometimes it takes a while to find it, but I hope you all find it and just run with it.
Bonnie, I just love your story so much. I mean, you just seem like you really love your life. And
I do.
And I think that is really important, loving your life. And, Marti, thank you for, sharing the looking yourself in the mirror and loving yourself and giving yourself some love and grace. That is so important. The words that we say to ourselves, our inner talk, is the most important thing that we do for ourselves every day, is giving us that love and that patience and that compassion, and knowing that, where we are today is that the road that we have walked has got us here. Yes. Right today. And we want to live in the moment, and we want to give ourselves a lot of love, not only on the inside, but on the outside. And by bringing all this awareness to not only to you, the listener, but for me, it makes me, when I want to go out and buy products, now I'm a big ingredient reader, and I will be, checking out Crunchy and different things like that. For myself, my aging gracefully story, I think started about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And I stopped wearing makeup altogether, except for special occasions. And I do have a drawer full of, makeup that I will, put on here and there. I like my eyeshadow and I like my mascara. But for the most part, I feel like I look my best when I just have my nice moisturizer on, that I'm taking care of my skin. I have a nice colored lip gloss. And, just for me, living naturally and I want to say as wholesome and healthy. And that also means the food that I put into my body, drinking lots of water, taking care of my skin, getting enough exercise, spiritually every day, meditating, and just trying to, balance my life in a way that reflects who I am authentically. And that for me is aging gracefully. So I think it's about time we wrapped up our podcast today. And
sorry.
And I just want to say once again, thank you so much, Bonnie, for being here with us. We are just so blessed to have you as part of our care provider team. And so now when you see Bonnie on the posts, tune into her, because she has a lot of wisdom and she's a good person to ask questions to.
I've learned so much today. I love it. Yes. So thank you.
So you're very welcome. Thank y'all for having me.
All right.
Pleasure.
Well, until next time, we're going to sign off and say, love you. Take care of yourself. Love your body. Love who you are.
Love you all. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this empowering journey through menopause in the Menowave Lounge. We hope you found our discussions insightful and comforting as we navigate this phase of life together. If you're looking to connect with one of our expert Menowave care providers for personalized advice and support, head over to our website at menowave.org. There, you'll find more information about our team of seasoned professionals, each dedicated to helping you get through this journey with confidence and grace. At menowave.org, you can also fill out a brief assessment to help us better understand your unique needs. Based on your responses, we'll match you with care providers who align perfectly with your individual requirements. Remember, you don't have to face menopause alone. Our team is here to provide the guidance and care you deserve. So take that step towards reclaiming your well-being and connect with a Menowave care provider today. Don't forget to watch the Menowave Lounge in the VIP Menopause group on Facebook for more advice and conversation. Together, we'll continue to break down barriers, share stories, and embrace the sometimes hard to find beauty of this transformative journey. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Menowave Lounge, hot flashes and cool conversations.